Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is an exciting one because I partnered up with one of my favorite companies, Ulta Beauty. You guys are always seeing Ulta hauls on my channel just because they have such a huge selection of products there. All the products that I'm using in today's tutorial will be linked down below for you guys, but I teamed up with Ulta to bring you a nice kind of warm, smoky cinnamon fall inspired eye. If you check out ulta.com, you can stay up to date with all of the upcoming fall trends, whether it's hair, skin, nails, all that good stuff. But yeah, I have some awesome products to share with you guys, so if you guys would like to learn how to create this look, just stay tuned. I'm gonna go ahead and start off by priming my face. I actually received a sample of this a few weeks back, instantly fell in love, so I was like, I need you in my life. This is the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. First of all, the packaging is just so fancy. The bottle is glass instead of like the liquid skin illuminators or skin perfectors. These are like a plastic bottle instead, so you definitely don't want to drop this, otherwise your dreams will be shattered right upon your feet. But I love this because it doesn't have the typical like heavy feeling of a silicone primer, but it still does a great job of kind of like blurring out any imperfections and smoothing out any like larger pores. But since I think on the site I read that it has like crushed pearls in it, and that's what gives your skin that really nice dewy luminous look. It's the main reason I love it. You can already see it now. It has a really nice sheen to it. I'm going to go ahead and move on to my eyes now just to really give time for that primer to soak in, even though it pretty much absorbs instantly. But I like having that opportunity to go in and wipe away any fallout without like ruining my foundation. Plus the shadows in this palette are pretty darn pigmented. I'm super light on the bandwagon with this one, but holy cow, it is amazing. This is the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. Inside you have 14 shades. You have some really gorgeous metallics, really nice warm mattes. Just like all the other Anastasia palettes, all the shadows are incredibly pigmented and buttery. They're so nice. So starting off with a flat shader brush, I'm gonna go in with this shade here called, the only thing is the names. I'm like, I don't know how to say a lot of these names. Tempura, I'm not gonna lie, the first time I saw that, I thought it said like, do you guys just call it tempura? I don't know, my mom's Korean and she says tempura, but I think that's just her way of saying it. But it's just a really nice kind of bone shade. I like to use this on my brow bone, and since it's so pigmented, I feel like it almost works as a concealer to hide all of my little eyebrow prickles. Hashtag lazy girl hacks. So I'm just going to place this right onto my brows. Well, not on my brows, under my brows. And I like to go all the way down to the tail end and then bring it in just to add some brightness. So all the way to the edge, and I'll go ahead and sweep some of this right into that inner corner. Okay, and then just taking any fluffy shader, I'm going to go into Raw Sienna. I might actually mix a little bit of Raw Sienna and Burnt Orange. Both of these shades are gorgeous. They're perfect transition shades. So I'm gonna go ahead and buff this right into my crease. For everyone else in the hooded eye gang, you'll know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm just going to pull a little bit of this upward. I'm not really gonna grab any more on the brush just because, like I mentioned earlier, these shadows are so pigmented, but they're really blendable too, which is nice. Then I'm going to grab the brush that comes in the palette. I'm pretty sure this is the standard brush that comes in a lot of the Anastasia palettes. You kind of have a thicker shader brush on one side and then this nice fluffy brush on the other. I'm going to go into my favorite shade in the entire palette, which is Red Ochre. I love shades like this, just really like rusty reds. It is a matte though, so that makes me love it even more. I'm going to concentrate this color on both my inner and my outer corner, and then I'm just going to leave like the center of my lid empty because we're gonna add kind of like a spotlight effect in there. Then I'm going to pick up a little bit of the Cypress Umber, which is this nice kind of rich matte brown, just to deepen up this color. Then taking the fluffy side of the brush, I'm going to grab some Burnt Orange and Red Ochre together, and then I'm just going to connect both of these corners together, kind of just doing like a windshield wiper motion and connecting these little babies like a rainbow, but I'm still going to leave the center of my lid naked. I'm just wanting to buff this back and forth into the crease. Now to fill in that little naked space we have in the center of our lids, I'm going to go into this shade right here called Vermeer. It's just a gorgeous, super creamy champagne tone, and I like to just use my finger and pat it as close to the lash line as possible, and then just go up slightly, but mainly keeping this on the lid. I don't want this to go too high up. I wish you guys could feel this shade in person. It's seriously like your finger just melts right into it. The pigmentation is insane. Okay, so when you do these little kind of like spotlight eyes, it's something that you kind of have to go back and forth with. So I want the darkness to kind of like melt in. I don't want the light shimmery shadow going all the way over. I still want to keep the outer and inner corner like dark and matte. So I'm just gonna go back in with that same shader brush and just pat a little bit more of red ochre right on top and just do like a slow little gradient into the light shade in the middle. So like right here, for instance, on the inner corner, that got really light. And then most likely I'll go back later and add more of the shimmery shadow in the center too. Okay, for my foundation, I'm super excited about this one. I think before this, the only other Lancome foundation I used, I cannot even remember the name of it right now. It came in a little squeeze tube, but this has a really impressive shade range. If you guys are curious, I'm 360 Bisque Neutral. I've used it with a brush, I've used it with a beauty blender, but I've noticed my favorite way to apply it is with my fingers. So I like to just mix it between my fingers. Don't worry, I washed my hands right before this video. What I will say though is that I like to go in sections. I don't want to like pat it everywhere and go in because it does kind of dry. It doesn't like dry down like Revlon Color Stay, but it's like it gets thicker and harder to move around, but it doesn't feel thick or heavy on your face. It actually feels really light and comfortable, and I really like the coverage. Plus, it holds up in the humidity. The first day I wore this, it was really humid, and then I got stuck in the rain running out to the car from the grocery store, and my foundation stayed in place. Now, if you have really oily skin, you may want to go in and set it, but the only place that I really go in and set is on my under eyes, just because this really just stays in place. It doesn't dry down like fully matte and dry where it makes your skin feel tight, but it doesn't stay like tacky and dewy either. It's really nice. Okay, now moving on to my concealer. This was another product that I was totally late on. This is the Tarte Shape Tape Contour Concealer. This stuff is incredible. It's definitely super pigmented, but I like it because it's not drying on the under eyes. The only thing is, I think I ordered the wrong color. I should have probably gone with light medium instead of light, but once I keep blending this out, I feel like it's okay, especially after going in and bronzing up my face. But as you can see, the applicator is huge. If you guys have the Tarte Aqua Sealer Concealer, I feel like the doe foot applicator is almost the same size. So I'm just going to go in and apply some of this right onto my under eyes. Sure, the face I make when blending in concealer and mascara are like the two most unfortunate looking things ever. I look like possessed because my eyes are basically rolled into the back of my head, but do what you gotta do. I'm gonna go in and apply some translucent powder on top. I'm just gonna go in with some of the IT Cosmetics translucent powder. And just to add some color back into this pasty face of mine, I'm going to go in with the IT Cosmetics Sunshine in a compact. I'm not really going to use this to contour. Like, I'm going to place it into the contour of my cheeks, but I'm using it more just to kind of get warmth and like glowiness back into my cheeks. It is a matte bronzer. It's the Vitality Anti-Aging Matte Bronzer. I believe there's vitamins A, C, and E in here. You guys know I'm a huge fan of IT Cosmetics, so I'm just going to take this huge bronzer brush from them, apply some here, and then just start pulling it up. Not really going in for a super defined contour, just more of a glowy cheek. Okay, next, you guys know I'm a huge fan of Laura Geller products. I love her highlighters. I'm obsessed with her baked blushes. This is the, what's the exact name of this? Baked Color and Contour in Sunset Glow. So it has a bronzer, a highlight, and a blush. So I don't own any of the body frostings except for the one that comes right here in this compact, but this is the highlighter in French Vanilla. It's more of like a satin highlighter. You'll see what I mean like when I swatch it on my finger. It's so creamy. It's not like a typical metallic highlighter. There's a sheen to it, but it's not like Gilded Honey where it's like bam in your face. Then I'm pretty sure this is Tropic Hues, the blush. Yeah, Tropic Hues, Pink Grapefruit, and then I think something Sunset are some of my favorite blushes from Laura Geller. If you've never tried any of her baked blushes, you need to. They are stunning. And then the body frosting in here is, I believe, Hawaiian Glow. Okay, after the first time of trying this, I already went back onto the Ulta site to look at more of their body frostings just because I've been missing out. Every time I go to Ulta, I always see the body frosting in that huge like bronze compact, but I'm like, oh, I don't need an all over body bronzer. This bronzer is amazing. It's like a 3-in-1 product. It's a bronzer, a blush, and a highlighter all in one. The color it gives is stunning. I'm just going to go in and sweep away this excess powder. I'm going to use the Hawaiian Glow first. You guys will see what I mean. The color this gives is stunning. Like, I cannot get over it. I'm going to go in with like a lighter fluffy brush, and it's like, it's a bronzer, but then you see some really nice pink tones in it as well, but then it still gives off this really pretty glow. I think even if you weren't wearing like any foundation or powder and you just put this on top of your skin, it would just give, see what I mean? Look at that. It's a highlighter too. It's so pretty. I can't get enough of this color. Definitely an underrated product. And then I'm going to go into French Vanilla. I'm going to swatch this for you guys really quick. Okay, so when you see it on your finger, it just looks like a really nice creamy vanilla color. In fact, one of the times I went into Ulta, and Laura Geller rep was there, and she said that she'll mix this with her Balance and Brighten, their powder, and use it as an under eye setting powder, but just really lightly, because you'll see it definitely does still give you like a glow, but it's not, I don't know how to describe it. It's something you have to swatch. Like, obviously it's not matte, but it's not shimmery either. It's just this gorgeous, like, natural looking glow. So I'm just going to grab this same little fluffier brush, grab some of this product, and then look at that. Isn't that so pretty? I feel like this is definitely a highlighter that needs more attention, because it's not overly like glittery, but oh, that is beautiful. I'm gonna go back in with the brush that comes in the palette, and I'm going to pick up this shade here as well as this kind of like burnt orange color, and I'm just going to press this right into my lower lash line and buff it back and forth, starting with the color more on the outer corner though, and then taking whatever else, hair in my mouth, taking whatever else is left on the brush into the inner corner, but concentrating majority of it right here onto the outer corner, and then I'm just going to connect it with the color on my outer corner, and then we'll probably go back into that matte brown shade here in a minute. So same thing, starting off on the outer corner and then just dragging the color inward. And then for my liquid liner, I'm going to go in with the Stila Stay All Day liquid liner. This is waterproof, it dries down fast, and I love the applicator of it. It's a nice felt fine tip applicator, but it's nice because it's not too firm. It has like the perfect amount of give to it, to where sometimes whenever eyeliners are like too flimsy, it's hard to create a straight line, but then if it's too firm, then it's like basically stabbing in your eye and it's uncomfortable. So this one is just right. So I feel like the pressure is on. I hate doing liner on camera. I think since I don't do a winged liner that often, like it still takes me time. Like I'm going in, I'm just like, okay, I like to do little by little. I'll do a little line, a little line, a little line, and kind of like connect them all together. I see other people and they're just like shoop, shoop, like 2 motions and done. I'm not a pro like that. So what I always like to do is start in the center of my lid. I know that's kind of weird. I feel like either people go on the outer or the inner. I like to start from the center, and I'll almost use the entire felt applicator. Like I'll basically just lay that flat like this to create my line. And then I always do this inner portion last, because my eyes, like they get itchy so easily, to where if I like even like touch an eyelash too heavy, then my eyes want to water, and then I'll see where I want to wing it. So I'll do a little baby wing like that, and then I go back in and connect it to this first line and basically just fill in that little triangle there. Okay, so now that we have the wing, now I'll go back in and basically hope and pray that my eyeball isn't gonna hate me today and not water. And then I didn't pull out my lashes, so I'm going to have to go dig through my lash drawer, but I'm thinking I'm either going to do a pair of Ardell Wispies or maybe the Eyelure Vegas Nay Grand Glamour lashes. I've really been liking those. Now moving on to my lips, I'm going to line and fill my lips with the NYX lip liner in the shade Natural. Every time I go to Ulta, I'm pretty sure I pick up at least one NYX lip liner pencil. I'm close to having basically, well, I would say I have all of the neutral shades. There's a couple of berry ones that I don't have yet. They have the actual retractable ones, but these are my favorite. Just says lip liner. I'm pretty sure they're called like the slim lip pencils or something. These are either $2.99 or $3.99, but I love getting them at Ulta because one, they're super affordable. The formula is amazing, but Ulta almost always is like a buy one, get one 50% off. Some kind of sale is almost always going on with NYX. If there's not a sale, you can always use the $3.50 off of $10 coupon. And then for my lipstick, I featured this in an Ulta haul a couple months ago. This is from Buxom. It's one of their, what are you, bold gel lipstick. It's in the matte line in the shade Sinful Cinnamon. I like this because it's matte, but it's not a formula that's drying. The only thing is it does transfer off, but like if you're drinking or if you're like to kiss someone, the first layer comes off, but you're still left with a nice bit of color underneath. Okay, y'all, so that completes this look. I really hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to check out Ulta.com for all the fall beauty trends, whether it's hair, makeup, or nails. Also, all these products will be listed down below in a shopping link for you guys, so be sure to check that out. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!